And we're going to do a video on Nugget, a little more in depth on the price action. Obviously, we had this move up here, big move. We go from 348 to 35.52. So 10-time move. Okay. So obviously our count on this move was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, this is your P5 right here. So we're looking at this as our P5. Oops, what the heck's going on here? Undeterminable. Thanks, no. We're looking at this as our P5, okay? P1, P2, P3, P4, P5. Okay, so now what we're seeing is we got this down move. If this is 5, I'm going to call this 1, 2, 3, 4. And the big question we're all asking is this P5? Is that our P5? I believe that's P5. I don't think we're going to go make a new low. We could, but I don't think we are. And here's one of the reasons I'm going to show you why. And there's many reasons we can figure this out, but this one's pretty good. Okay, when you look at, we put in a low here. Let's call this 0. Okay? So now I think we put in a low here. So we would call that 0. Now we made this little move here before we started getting into our major swings. See this little move here? Look at this little move here. I'm going to call this a mini now. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Okay, now this is a pattern we follow. This is an SEP. Doc pretty much coined this pattern from what I know, and I'll show you it here. This is Doc's SEP. Put in a 1, a 2, a 3, a 4, a 5, and then you sell off. Okay, see this here? We put in a 1, a 2, a 3, a 4, a 5, and then she sold off. Again, here's one of Doc's examples of an SEP. You put in a 1, a 2, a 3, a 4, a 5, and then you sell off, all right? There you go. This right here is this right here. Now we're putting this in again right here. So I'm going to call this 1, 2, 3, and today we're putting in 4. It could take a couple days. If you look at this 4, came up, took a day, went sideways for what? 1, 2, 3, put in 4, then we went up, put in 5. Okay. Now there's a good way to see if we have any frequency here, and this is an SEP formation. You can see by this what she did. We did this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, then we sold off. Okay, we sold off to there. Okay, this is the look of it, just a schematic drawing of what it does. Lower high, we put in a high, a higher low. Put in a higher high, a higher low. And this swing widens right here. See how this swing gets wide? We put in a higher high here, and the swing from 4 to 5 is wider than the swing from 2 to 3. So we get 2 to 3, 4 to 5. Okay, now we have right here. Boom. See this swing from here to here? Now this swing from 4 to 5 is going to be wider than this swing from 1 to 3. Now if you look at this swing 1 to 3, see the width here? The swing from 3 to 5 is wider than the swing from 1 to 3. So 1 to 3, 3 to 5, wider swing here, wider swing here. Okay, now what's great about this, Doc gave us tools to help us do projections. So we take our low, which is 0, and we catch 4 right there. And then we take the width of the formation. This is our action line up here. This is what Doc learned from Roger Babson, action reaction. It's based on Newton's third law. For every action, there's an equal and opposite reaction. So this is A1. This is our action line. This is R1. This is our reaction line. Okay? So price comes up to here, hits our action line. Now the projection is that once we put in P5, it's going to come down here and hit our reaction line. See, just like it did. Boom. Hit the reaction line, caught it, and we're on our way. So how are we going to use action reaction now to catch the bottom here? So we could also use action reaction with a 1 through 3 line. Obviously, we have to wait until we put in P4. We can use a 1 through 3 and try to project 4, but what we'll wait and do is we'll put in our 0 here. Okay. So looking at our channel, say if this was P4, we're not sure it is, it has to put in a low, we would go ahead and catch the top of P3 there and catch the width. Okay, so now what we're looking at, based on this SEP, I believe we're putting another SEP here. So what we'll probably end up doing is putting in this SEP. We'll put in 5 somewhere up here. Now remember, the swing from 1 to 3, the width of this swing, the swing from 3 to 5 is going to have to be wider than this swing from 1 to 3, right? When you look at the SEP, this swing is wider. This low is higher than this low. This high is higher than this high. This high in 5 will be higher than 3, and the swing will be wider than the move from 1 to 3. So we can measure our width from 1 to 3. Right there, there's your width. Now if you look at, there's our width from 1 to 3 right there. So now our width from 3 to 5 is going to be wider than here. So if you look at that, that's 11/16. So whenever we put in P4, we're going to rally up to P5, and it's going to be a wider move than the move from 1 to 3. So our move from 3 to 5 should be wider than 1 to 3. So once we get past 11/16, we should know that we should be looking for P5 to be in if we're up around this line, if this is our low. Okay? So once we get up in here, we know that what's going to happen. This move's going to happen. Right? Right here. This move's going to happen. Boom. So once we get up around the 17 area, or higher than this, which is 1656, once we get around this 17 area, on or after the 16th, we should be looking for a sell-off here, possibly to go down to this 11-12 range again. Then, that would be here, you're going to see this move start going up into our P1. Okay? So, right now, this is probably P4. We're probably going to put in a higher high. What we might do is sell most of our position here, wait for the add-on, go down to here, add on, and then it looks to me like we're going to put in this leg again. Okay, so an old trick that Tim used would be basically just take our support right here, pretty much multi-pivot line. So say we got a multi-pivot line right there. Let's double the range. So he would probably look for us going this is probably what we're looking at. Doubling the range, we're probably looking 56, somewhere in there. 55 to 56. Definitely going to come and retest 34. We just got to see our pivot counts on the way up. You know, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I would say more than likely we're probably going to go to this double the range on this next leg up, which is 56. Thanks for your time.